that's totally different from saying, like, the government is racist or the government shouldn't be racist or things like this. Here's what I mean. The government has to take into account that people are different.
Yeah.
You know, so for example, like when we have this mass immigration into the United States, the people that are coming here are different from the people that are here. You know, they have a different ancestry, different culture, different background. They speak a different language. So look at those people and say, well, you know, we got to treat these people exactly the same in the spirit of equality. Well, they're not equal. They're not the same.
But why not?
What they are.
Why not?
Nick Fuentes triggers this entire panel of feminists as he drops the hard truth on immigration and race IQ in this debate, as Nick Fuentes gets real and brings facts to the table, torching the woke left's idea of immigration while speaking the truth and the solution to differences in race IQ stats. Let's get in.
As a girl, race mixing, you do too? Are you mixed as well?
Yes, I am Haitian, but I'm also Dominican and Venezuelan.
Okay. You can make the argument that the Dominicans are African Americans, so Afro-Americans.
But Venezuelans are
Or
not.
black, excuse me. What about you? What do you think?
I'm American. But I think.
Do you believe in race mixing, like a white dude getting a white black chick or vice versa? You do? You agree with it?
That.
Okay, so you two think, hey, keep it in the.
I mean, it's just not. I mean,
okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to kind of get an idea. So all the girls
I'm not saying that it's a negative thing, though. I'm definitely not saying that it's a negative thing. I just have my preference, and I believe in letting people have their preference and exercising that.
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay, so it looks to me like all of you are for race mixing. Then you just only two of you don't practice it.
Right. Do what you want to do. That's your business.
Do you date white guys? White guys outside of the black race?
No, you don't.
I mean,
yeah,
you know, I can't say yes because it's a type thing. I feel.
What about you? Do you date outside of your race? No.
I dated white guys, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I have too, but it's just a type thing.
Of course, definitely for money.
Do you date outside of your race? I mean, black people.
I have in the past, but I don't anymore.
Your preference is black? Okay.
Yeah.
So what about you? Do you date outside of your race?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. So realistically speaking, all of you are for race mixing, but only two of you date outside of your race, it seems to me. Okay. All right. Just, you got the numbers here.
Yeah, well, it seems like sort of a
just you kind of know, just so you know, just so you know.
A liberal attitude, like politically liberal.
No, liberal like open, more liberal minded. But to get to your point, because I think it's an important distinction. You know, you said that God would want to see us as unequal in terms of IQ or worth, but that is the distinction, because we can say that people are unequal qualitatively without saying that they're unequal before God, which is my position. Because, and we talked about this on the earlier show. When you look at individuals, no two individuals are equal. You know, if I stand next to Myron, he's taller than me.
Yeah.
You know, and if I stand next to somebody else, we're going to be unequal. And I think groups are unequal too. I think that inequality is just a state of nature. I don't think you find equality in nature. The important thing is, though, and it's like you said, we have to love each other. The equality we bring to the table is that everyone has a soul. Everybody is equal before God. And I agree with you. People should be treated with care and kindness and that sort of thing. But that being said, and this is why it's important to be specific. When I look at other people, I think it's important to treat them with dignity, respect, love, that sort of thing.
I agree.
At the same time, that's totally different from saying, like, the government is racist or the government shouldn't be racist or things like this. Here's what I mean. The government has to take into account that people are different.
Yeah.
You know, so for example, like when we have this mass immigration into the United States, the people that are coming here are different from the people that are here. You know, they have a different ancestry, different culture, different background. They speak a different language. So look at those people and say, well, you know, we got to treat these people exactly the same in the spirit of equality. Well, they're not equal. They're not the same.
But why not?
What they are.
Why not?
Feminists love this whole idea of equality, but Nick Fuentes is 100% right. People are not equal. They are not the same the world over. So if you take, you know, a Muslim from the Middle East and just bring them over to the United States, they have no understanding of the language, the culture. Their school systems are different. They may want Sharia law. They may not really respect the Constitution. Like, there are fundamental differences all the way down to the core of these people's beliefs, their perceptions around the world. You know, it's the same reason we screen for, you know, possible terrorists and, you know, drug traffickers and People are associated in heinous things. Not everyone is the same, and their culture matters too. Plenty of other third world countries have broken governments and, corruption everywhere. These people are morally and ethically different than the people here. We've seen the effects of all the illegal immigration, the hundreds and thousands and millions of people who've come in, and all the criminals that have come in who don't respect life in the same way, and all the cartels that have come in. And this whole idea that you're just going to bring people in from all over the world and they're just the same across the board, like that is an absolutely insane idea. It's insane to think that you're going to have all these different countries with different backgrounds and different cultures and different ethnicities and different schools and all of this, and somehow you're going to come up with the same outcome. That's the inverse of claiming repeating the same thing and expecting a different outcome. It's the other way around. So Nick Fuentes is exactly right. You have to look at these people differently. You have to treat them differently because they are not the same, and they don't respect the laws, the Constitution, the origin, and basically the soul of the country the same way as you do. And if you bring in too many people, you are going to change that about your country, especially if you're not demanding that these people assimilate into the American culture, which unfortunately is becoming more and more fragmented. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video. It helps the algorithm, and let's get back in.
Really made the argument of equality. I don't know if I said that because I have my own views about equality. I think that equity is much more efficient for society, for even relationships and families. But I think what I'm getting tripped up with, and the sticking point that I'm having with your arguments, is when you're saying like one specific race is inherently lower intelligence, that opens the door for
on average,
many.
on average.
And
Well, but
you
they're
believe
stratified.
but you believe it's like a genetic component that opens the door for so many people who maybe are not a part of that racial group to disrespect the racial group that you believe is genetically lower intelligence.
It's a sensitive subject.
And I really do believe in the goodness of you as a person, just the way that you carry yourself and the way that you speak. But I'm assuming you're probably a guy that is like very polarizing and has millions of followers and viewers. There's probably at least a handful of people, or like a percentage worth of a handful of people who take what you are saying and use it in a very, very, very ugly way.
Yeah, you're right about that. And, I'm bombastic about it. But in truth, it's not just about putting black people down. And I talk about that a lot because I don't think that black people should be put down. In fact, I think that a lot of their grievances are legitimate. The problem is, though, what you find is it gets mixed up with rhetoric like what you said, where you said God made white people to laugh as a joke. And I'm not trying to put you down for saying that, but I mean, all I'm trying to say is the same could be said really about any kind of statement. Like, we listen to grievances, historical or otherwise, that people have. By the same token, people could take an historical grievance and say, well, we have a right to be racist against white people because it's a bad joke that God made them. In the same way that, you could take something like I said and twist it. As far as the IQ goes, though, it's stratified. Asians have the highest, then whites, Hispanics, blacks in terms of average. The only reason I say that is if we want to help everybody, we have to kind of meet them where they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that's the problem, then throwing more money at it's not going to fix it.
Exactly. And I agree with that.
Okay, so
Yeah, there's plenty of people that may not like the idea of differences in race IQ, but there's all sorts of other things that go into it. Culture, teaching, schooling. Thomas Sowell has done an extensive research on showing the differences in this, and you can change it. But still, as it is now, there's going to be differences between everything. But that doesn't change what you're going to have to do through life. You're still going to have to go through school. You're still going to have to work. That you're still going to have to live exactly the same way as before, regardless of where you are on this supposed ladder. Now that you are, like, that doesn't change anything. But Nick Fuentes is exactly 100% right. If you're higher up, if you're more advanced, the type of help that you're going to need in order to continue to grow is going to be way different than someone who, reads at a 6th grade level, isn't very good at math, and yet they're, 18 years old. He needs a whole different type of help, not to mention that entire school. So, just throwing money and without realizing what exactly the problem is, what exactly you need, and what steps you need to take in order to solve it, it's not going to accomplish anything. That's what you really need to do. Not money, but actual real solutions addressing the issues. But folks, thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you thought about what Nick Fuentes had to say, dropping the real truth on immigration and race IQ in this clip. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.